Hey, welcome. So today we're going to do something a little different. We're not just going to look at what happened in the past, we're going deeper. We're asking, how do we actually know what happened? How do we piece together the incredible story of humanity?
The historian E.H. Carr put it perfectly. History isn't just some dusty old book of facts. It's an active, ongoing conversation. We, right here in the present, are constantly asking questions of the past. And the past, well, it answers back through the clues it left behind.
And that's the real trick, isn't it? How do you have a conversation with someone who lived thousands or even millions of years ago? How do we tune in and actually listen to a story when the storytellers themselves are long gone? Okay, to really wrap your head around this challenge, just look at this timeline. The Earth is over 4.5 billion years old. Dinosaurs pop up 233 million years ago. And us, Homo sapiens, we've only been on the scene for about 300,000 years. We are a tiny, tiny blip in the grand scheme of things.
So, to solve a mystery this massive, you need a team of specialists. And it's best to think of them as time detectives, each one with a totally unique skill set for cracking the case and uncovering the secrets of the past.
First up, you've got the geologists. If history is a crime scene, these are the folks analyzing the scene itself. For example, by studying layers of volcanic ash in Africa, geologists help date some of the earliest human fossils to nearly 2 million years old. They literally set the stage for our entire story. Then you have the paleontologists. Now, these detectives find the most direct evidence of ancient life, fossils. Just think of someone like Mary Anning, who, way back in the 1800s, discovered a complete ichthyosaur skeleton, proving giant reptiles once ruled the seas. A single fossil can completely rewrite what we thought we knew. Next up are the anthropologists. They're focused on the who and the why. By studying modern hunter-gatherer societies, for instance, they can build really smart theories about how ancient people might have lived and hunted and formed their communities. They help us get inside their heads and understand the behavior behind the evidence. And finally, we have the archaeologists. These are the detectives on the ground, literally, carefully digging up the clues that people left behind. The ruins of Pompeii, for example, frozen in time by a volcano, that gives us this unbelievable snapshot of Roman life, all thanks to the patient work of archaeologists.
All right, now that we've met our team of detectives, let's take a look at the tools they use. Because if you're going to make sense of the past, you absolutely need a way to measure time and organize all the clues you find.
First things first, a common calendar. You've probably seen both of these systems. The modern standard that historians use all over the world is BCE, or Before Common Era, and CE for Common Era. It's the exact same timeline as BC and AD, just a more inclusive way to mark the years on our shared global calendar.
But here's a really interesting little quirk in our calendar. When you're trying to calculate time across that BCE to CE divide, there's a catch. There's no year zero. The calendar just jumps directly from 1 BCE to 1 CE. So if you look here, the time between 2 BCE and 2 CE isn't 4 years, it's actually only 3. That's a crucial little detail for any good time detective. The best way to think about how all this evidence comes together is like a giant jigsaw puzzle. Every single source, whether it's a bone, a coin, or an old manuscript, is one piece. Historians are trying to fit them all together to see the big picture. But we always have to remember, some pieces of this puzzle are just lost forever. So, what do these puzzle pieces even look like? Well, archaeological sources are the physical objects. Things like tools and weapons, they tell us about technology and conflict. Pottery and toys, they give us this amazing glimpse into daily life at home. These are the tangible things people left behind.
And then you have literary sources. These are the written records, manuscripts, poems, religious texts. These sources give us a window directly into the minds of people from the past. They tell us what they believed, what they cared about, and the stories they told themselves.
Okay, so we've met the detectives, we've seen their toolkit, now let's put it all into practice. Let's tackle a real case, trying to reconstruct the lives of our earliest human ancestors. So just think about the sheer scale of our case study. We are trying to piece together a story that spans 300,000 years. This is a time so long ago that almost everything we know has been painstakingly put back together from the absolute tiniest of clues. And what have those clues told us? Well, we know that for most of our history, humans were hunter-gatherers. They lived a nomadic life, always on the move in small groups, using fire and stone tools to survive.
And get this, through their cave art and burial practices, we have evidence they had complex beliefs, maybe even a belief in an afterlife. Then, around 12,000 years ago, something dramatic happened. The last ice age ended. And this is a perfect example of how a change in the environment can spark a total revolution in human life. As the climate got warmer, people started to settle down, they experimented with farming, and that just led to this incredible cascade of innovations.
Now, this process took thousands of years, but you can see the logical steps, right? Farming means you can stay in one place. A stable food supply means your population can grow. Small settlements then grow into bigger villages that start trading with each other. And all this connection spurs on new tech like pottery and eventually even metalworking. This was the birth of complex society. So after all that digging and all that decoding, we arrive at the most important question of all. Why does any of this matter? Why is this dialogue with the past so essential for us right here, right now? And here we are right back where we started, with E.H. Carr. We can fully understand the present only in the light of the past. And that's not just some academic idea. The way we build our cities, the food we eat, our ideas about community, all of it is built on the foundations laid by those who came before us.
When we study the past, we're not just learning about them, we're learning about us. We see the origins of our technology, our communities, our ideas. We literally owe our existence to the courage and the sheer persistence of these early humans who faced challenges we can barely imagine. Their story is our story. And that brings me to one last thought. You have a personal history. If a historian 1,000 years from now wanted to understand your life, what sources would they find? What photos, what messages, what objects and memories would tell your story? What pieces of your own puzzle are you leaving behind?